Ben, thank you so much for being willing to say a bit about what Jesus has done in your life and how he's brought you to himself. It would be good for those who don't know you, maybe, for you just to say a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, my name's Ben. I live with my wife Claire.
Good.
And 2 children, Joseph and Mikey, aged 5 and 4.
Mm-hmm. And what about work? What do you do?
Yeah, I work for a company that runs leisure centres on behalf of local authorities.
Now, it would be good to know a little bit about your sort of growing up, family background, that kind of thing, before God sort of worked to bring you to Jesus.
Yeah, no, I was brought up by my acting parents. My mother was...
now, when you say acting parents, what do you mean?
Well, sorry, yes, they were.
They weren't just pretending to be.
No, they weren't pretending to be my parents, and they really were my parents. Yeah. But they are in a number of films and TV and theatre. So yes, in and out of work as I was growing up. Mm-hmm. But my mum, I guess, more importantly for this, was Roman Catholic, and my father, I would say, was probably an atheist. And I sort of went to church on and off as I was forced to. I didn't particularly get anything out of church, and as I grew up, my visits to church became less frequent until it was really just Christmas and Easter that I used to go. And I think I was very much living for me and myself, really for the next 20 years.
And then you met Claire?
I met Claire in my mid-30s. It was quite a big turning point in my life, and I think, you know, she was a Christian. She went to church every week, and we eventually got married a few years later.
And what did you think of Jesus at that point?
I remember particularly at church one day someone standing up and saying that they were now a Christian, and actually they were going to put, you know, Jesus as number 1 and their family was number 2, and that seemed a totally alien concept to me. I'd say the initial sort of turning point for me was my mother had bowel cancer, and she passed away probably about four odd years ago, and she was very strong in her faith, and I suddenly realised that it was all very well going through life, living for myself and not really understanding Jesus and the Bible, but if I really wanted to have any kind of proper opinion on it, then I probably needed to know more and read the Bible. And I think that was the starting point. I started to go to church a bit more regularly, and I started to want to understand and learn more. And
you came on our Christianity Explored course as well?
Yeah, I mean, there are significant sort of light bulb moments for me, you know, understanding that the Bible's a historical text, and, you know, Jesus is a real person. This is sort of based on fact. And the fact that Jesus' brother wrote a section of it and sees his own brother as Messiah, and I have a brother, and, you know, there's no way I'd be getting him confused. So there are lots of sort of significant moments where you have those where it becomes more real, and you understand it more, and you believe.
But then what happened sort of summer 2014? That was another turning point, wasn't it? Moment?
I had a lump on my neck last summer, and after a few weeks of going back and forth with the doctor and him telling me not to worry, it'll be fine, suddenly realised that actually it wasn't going to be fine. And I remember sitting in Kingston Hospital and a consultant opening a fax paper and reading it intently, and then telling me that I had cancer. And over the next sort of few weeks it became apparent, as they did tests, that I had something relatively rare called mantle cell lymphoma. And really this isn't something that they think is curable at the moment, but they don't know enough. So yes, so I've been through, over the last year, 6 to 9 months of chemotherapy followed by stem cell transplant. The treatment, as you can obviously see, was successful. It went into remission very quickly, but it certainly accelerated my thought process around wanting to become a Christian.
And so in that acceleration of that thought process, what's changed then?
I think I look back to the guy that got up at Streatham and said, I put Jesus first and my family number two. And I probably wouldn't put it as crudely as that, but I suddenly realised that those things are mutually exclusive. Actually, you know, my life, is here, and rather than for myself, I want to live for God. I love my children just as much as I did back then, but I also have a desire to live my life differently and for God, and that involves bringing my children up in that way as well.
So what difference does that make for you with your children, with your family?
I wanted them to be able to make their own choices in life, but I feel now that actually I want them to have the comfort of God in their lives and grow up as Christians. That's a very different change in sort of attitude, I guess, from where I was.
For anyone who's watching this who isn't a Christian, what would you say to them now?
I think you need to understand more. I mean, I think it's all very well shutting God out of your life and tipping your hat at Christmas and Easter, but actually, understand it. Read the Bible, understand it, learn more. It's been a journey over the last, I'd say, 3-4 years, but it's one that I'm very glad I went through.
Thank you very much, Ben.